Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. I hope you have listened to the audio story, the audiobook of the story uh, sent you in the previous class. Today we are going to discuss the story in detail. I know there are some words and expressions difficult for you to understand, so I effort today to explain it a little more clearly. So I request all of you to take your textbook and as I discuss, you go along the lines of the lesson. Okay, so we will start with the first paragraph. Uh, you know, this story has been set in the background of Dorset, England, and now when the story starts, we know that the narrator of the story, we identify him as Michael Murporgo, has gone to a junk shop in Bridport. Children, please listen. Bridport is a place in Dorset, England, okay, west of England, and Bridgeport is a place in the USA. Okay, so it is not Bridgeport, it is Bridport, right? So the story takes place in a larger place called Dorset, west of England, and Bridport is a small town nearby in Dorset. Okay, so here I stands for, maybe it can be, it is the writer, Michael Morpurgo, or it can be the narrator. In any way we can take it, okay? So I spotted it in a junk shop in Bridport, a roll-top desk. Okay, so junk shop, junk shop is a shop where all the second-hand materials are sold, all right? Junk shop, junk food, right? Junk food. So it depends. It tells about the quality. Junk. I spotted it in a junk shop. I noticed. I found out it in a junk shop. Okay, Bridport, a roll top desk. Roll top desk, as I told you in the previous audiobook, it is a table or writing table, the cover of which we can slide up or pull down. Okay, so it can be opened into the storage by sliding up or pulling it down, the lid part of it, right? So he spotted such a roll top desk at a junk shop in Bridport, right? And the man said it was early 19th century. The shop owner informed him that it was a 19th century desk. That means it is an old one, it's an antique one, so it must be costly, right? So, and it is an oak. And oak means oak wood, very strong wood. So it was made of oak wood, the material with which the roll top desk has been made. So oak is very costly. It's a very good wood, strong wood, and it lasts for centuries. Okay, so I had always wanted one. I had the desire to buy a roll top desk since long, but they were always far too expensive. I didn't have, or I never had that much money enough to buy a roll top desk. So a roll top desk made out of good wood must be very expensive, so I couldn't afford to buy one so far. That's what the narrator tells. But this one was in a bad condition, so not a first-hand one, a second-hand one, a used one. So it must be cheaper. So this one was in a bad condition, rolled up in several pieces, one leg clumsily mended. So what was the bad condition of the roll top desk? The roll top in several pieces, that pulling up a top lid is in several pieces, and one leg clumsily mended. Clumsily, not beautifully or not correctly, very awkwardly mended. Okay, not skillfully mended. Mended means repaired. Scorch marks all down on one side. Scorch mark means scorched, scorching, scorching sun, burning sun means very much heat coming up. Here scorch mark means burned marks, burned mark, scar of burn or fire. Okay, scorch marks all down on one side of the roll top desk. It was going for very little money. So as it is damaged, it must be available for less money so the narrator can afford to buy it. I reckoned I was just about capable enough to have it. I reckoned means I counted the money I have, so I understood I have just enough money to buy this roll top desk. I don't have much money in me, just enough to buy. Just enough means exactly enough to, okay, not more, not less. All right, going very little money. Also, I reckoned and I was just about capable enough to have a go uh, I reckoned I was just about capable enough to have a go at restoring it. Have a go means I am able to go restoring. I thought I'll repair. Restore means a repair. Okay. It would be a risk. I know it would be a great risk to repair a damaged desk. It may break off sometimes, a real challenge at my abilities. But I had to have it. But I decided I have to buy this because it was my desire, long painting. So I couldn't afford to buy a very costly one. So this is right for me. I'll try to repair it. Okay. It would be a risk, a challenge, but I had to have it. I paid the man and brought it back to my workroom behind the house. Okay, so workroom at the back of the garage, American, garage, British garage. I began work on it on a Christmas evening. Then, because the house was full of resonating with overexcited relatives, and I wanted some peace and quiet. So, why did the writer go to the backside of the garage to repair the roll top desk? Because it was Christmas Eve and there were a lot of people at home. So the house was resonating. Resonating means echoing, sounding too much, right? Echoing with the overexcited relatives. Everybody is overexcited because it's a Christmas Eve, right? All the family members join to celebrate Christmas. But I didn't want to do my precious work on the precious thing I possessed among the sound resonating overexcitement of the relatives. So I thought I'll go to the back side of the garage and do the repair there because I wanted some peace and quiet to do this work. All right. Now let us move on to. I think you got the idea. We were talking about the beginning of the story where the narrator was, how he found a roll top desk, what his desire was to possess a roll top desk, why it was not possible because of the lack of enough money, and how he ultimately made up his mind to buy this. And while buying this, what was his calculation or what was his future plan to mend the clumsily repaired roll top desk? So he reached home and he found a silent place at the backside of the garage to do the precious repairing work. Because the house was full of sound and fury or sound of the relatives, they were excited to celebrate Christmas. All the family members had joined, right? I think you got the first paragraph of the story. Well, let's move ahead. I moved the roll top completely and pulled out the drawers. Okay, how will you pronounce drawers? So I removed the roll top completely, the upper lid completely, and pulled out the drawers one by one. Right? Each one confirmed that this would be a bigger job. When I pull out the drawers, it seemed a very Herculean task. It's not an easy job. So each time I pulled down the drawers, it was confirmed to me. I was made sure that this would be a bigger job than I had first thought it would be. Okay, so the veneer had lifted almost everywhere. What is veneer? You know, the tables will have an upper coating layering. Nowadays we have plastic coating or laminated one on the plywood or such kinds of things. Some tabletops are very much beautifully decked with veneer. You know, veneer flooring, an upper layer of on the floor we will spread uh, uh, sometimes with the color designs or sometimes just like the tiles. Okay, the veneer. So such a covering sheet. Okay, so that was completely damaged every way. The veneer had lifted means had come up, okay, from the from where it was stuck properly. Okay, it was coming out everywhere. It looked like water damage to me. I felt the veneer must have come because of water, so much exposure to water, or water must have been filled on the table many a time, so it must have damaged the veneer. Veneer spelling. Okay, so whenever you find the difficulty of the words and I tell the explanation, I request you to note down this in your notebook. Okay, so both fire and water had clearly taken their toll on this desk. See the expression, both the fire. We have seen that the roll top desk, on one side of it, there was a scorch mark or a burnt mark, and the veneer has completely gone off because of exposure to water. So water and fire clearly taken their toll on this desk. There's an idiomatic expression, take toll on something. Take toll on something means affect or damage or cause death, or cause damage, death, or destruction. Okay, so the fire and water have damaged the roll top desk very badly. So we can say another way, the fire and water had clearly taken their toll on the desk. Now it's a COVID season, okay? COVID has taken a heavy toll on human life. COVID has taken a heavy toll on human life. Okay, then we talk about a person who is working very hard. Yeah, that woman had been working hard since long to look after her family. The woman had been working very hard to look after her family. Her hard work has taken toll on her health. Now she is unhealthy, hospitalized. We can say her hard work has taken toll on her health. So take toll on means affect badly or cause damage or death. Here, the fire and water have taken toll on the desk. Desk got damaged. The last row was stuck fast. Stuck fast means unable to be pulled out. It is stuck over there, jammed up. I tried all I could to ease it out gently. I tried to gently pull it out, draw it out, because I didn't want to damage it, and I always loved to possess one desk like this. All right, but it was not easy for me to pull out the stuck drawer. So in the end, I used brute force. Brute means brutal force, animalistic force, in the sense much force, okay? Much force without any gentility, right? Brute force. So gentle force, brute force. Okay, so I struck it sharply with the side of my fist. I used my fist to strike sharply at the side of the drawer so that it would come out slowly, okay, without damage. So I stuck, and struck. Stuck means jammed. Struck means gave a thud, okay, and gave a beat over it a little bit, okay, or just knock heavily over it, something, okay, or strike heavily over something. Struck it sharply with the side of my fist, and the drawer flew open to reveal. Flew open means open very fast. It came out so fast to reveal a shallow space, a shallow, not a deep space, okay, very small, shallow water, okay, space underneath. Underneath means under it, below it. A secret drawer was there. There was a secret drawer inside the roll top desk. There was something in there. There was something hidden there in the secret drawer. I reached in and took out a small black tin box. What was there in the drawer? Secret drawer, there was a tin box, black tin box, remember? Cello-taped to the top of it was a piece of lined note paper. So a lined note paper was kept on top of the tin box, cello-tapped. Okay, cello-tapped. To the top of it was a piece of lined note paper, ruled note paper, and written on it in a shaky handwriting. Shaky handwriting means not a vivid handwriting, not a very clear shaped handwriting. It's a shaky. How can it be shaky? When we write in a speed or when our fingers flutter or shiver. Can be out of fear or out of old age also. So what can it be here? Connie is writing a letter and she is pretty old here. So shaky handwriting stands for her old age, right? So Jim's last, what did she write there? Jim's last letter, Jim McPherson's last letter to her, received on January. This date is very important, right? January 25th, 1915. She received it on January 25th, 1915. To be buried with me when the time comes. When the time comes refers to when I die. Who is I here? Connie. We will come to know later. I knew as I did that it was wrong of me to open the box. Who says this? The writer says, I knew as I did when I was doing it, opening up the secret drawer and taking the personal letter of Connie to Jim, I knew it very well that I was doing a wrong thing. Okay, to open the box. Why is it a wrong thing? Because it is somebody's some hidden items or kept secretly. Somebody's some very personal item kept secretly. So and it's not fair for us. It's not a good thing to peep into others' secrecy. Okay. So he says I knew that it was wrong of me to open the box. But this expression, you see, curiosity got the better of my scruples. What is a scruples? Scruples is a sense of morality or propriety of doing something or preventing us from doing something. Simply we can say morality and ethics about it. Okay, so I was so curious what would be in the letter, whose letter it would be. Is it something very much a secret? Is it something precious? Is it something of a treasure? So I had a lot of curiosity. Curiosity means eagerness to know about things. Okay, inquisitive. So I was very curious, and curiosity overtook me completely, overtook my scruples, my morality, my sense of decorum, my sense of what we can say ethics. Okay, so it usually does. When curiosity is too much with us, we don't bother about our morality or ethics, okay, or honesty, or rather, we will be completely blindfolded by our curiosity. So we do some mistakes. So many often people do mistakes because of this. Their curiosity or their selfishness will take over their morality. Okay, so once again, I knew as I did it that it was wrong to me to open the box. Why was it wrong? Because it was somebody's personal thing and it's not right for anyone else to open and see somebody's personal things. Okay, so we don't peep into others' mobiles. It is their property. Even though it is kept in front of us, we should never look into others' property. That's the manner. Right? So once a personal thing is one's own, and unless you are permitted, you don't have any right, moral right or ethical right to peep into or possess somebody's anything. All right. So this is what one of the great human values or social values that we have to nourish and develop in ourselves. Okay, others privacy is others privacy. We don't have any right to peep into them. Okay, so we should show all our manners even when some two people are speaking or friends are speaking. To enter this talk, we have to be politely we have to ask permission to enter. Okay, so it's not that you go and jam in and get into kind of thing. This is quite uncivilized manner, right? So developing civilized manner, decorum, and etiquette, they're very important in our life. So always don't enter others' private space. Others' private space are spaces theirs. Okay, no, you don't like anybody to enter your private space, right? Just like that, others also. So we should respect others. Unless we respect others' private space, nobody is going to respect your private space. Okay, so curiosity got the better of my scruples. Can you tell me any other idiomatic expression like this based on curiosity? Think about it. Curiosity and some rats together. Curiosity and rat. That's it. Curiosity killed the rat. Okay. So you are so curious that you have destroyed or damaged everything about it. Okay. So curiosity killed the rat. Okay, so we are so curious that we do something which does show the opposite effect or result. It destroys everything. Okay, curiosity killed the rat. You remember the story of uh, the duck which lays golden egg. The man and his wife were so greedy, and the duck was I think that it was a duck, it was laying one egg, golden egg, every day. But the farmer, or the one who, the poor man who possessed the duck, was so curious that that he cut the uh, stomach of the duck to see whether there are so many golden eggs in order to become rich faster. That has killed the duck itself. So curiosity killed the rat. Okay, that's the expression. So we should not be so curious about everything. Sometimes our curiosity will be a big distraction or big damage to ourselves. Okay, so I think you got it well. Inside the box there was an envelope. You may have the doubt, you must have heard somebody pronounce it as envelope. Envelope. Actually, the pronunciation is envelope, envelope. Okay, envelope. It can be envelope. Both are correct. Okay, so don't have any doubt. An envelope. Okay, envelope, envelope. Okay, right. So the address read. So inside the box there was an envelope or envelope. The address said, Mrs. Jim McPherson, 12 Copper Beaches, Bridport. Okay, Dorset. In Dorset, in a small place called Bridport, where the writer got the roll top desk. It is the house number is 12 Copper Beaches. Okay, that address has been written and kept inside because Connie must have felt sometimes that when she dies, there won't be anybody, or she wanted to inform it to others, or she must have guessed that she would not be going to meet uh, Jim McPherson before she dies. Okay, so before she dies. So that may be the reason that she has written everything and kept in the secret chamber. So I took out the letter and unfolded it, opened it. It was written in pencil and dated at the top December 26, 1914. December 26, 1914. December 24, Christmas Eve. Christmas 25, 26. She has been promised by Jim McPherson that he would reach her at Christmas on 25th, and they would celebrate Christmas together. And 1914 is the time of First World War. First World War broke out 1914, right? Now you see, in the paragraph before, we mentioned that Jim's last letter received January 25. So on January 25, she received the Jim's last letter. Okay, 1950. So then let us see what is going on. I think you have got it all through up to now. Now we are going to read Jim's letter. Okay, so dearest Connie, see the salutation that tells how much they are close. I write you in much happier frame of mind, in good mood, because something wonderful has just happened. Something wonderful has just happened. It has just happened. It's not, it just happened. Normally people say, it just happened. That just happened. That just, he just came. That's all wrong. Okay, he has just come. When just is the present perfect, they have just gone out. I've just come in. Okay, so just happened that I must tell you about at once. I thought this is a very happy news and you would also be very happy, so I thought I would tell it to you right away. So I'm writing this letter. We were all standing in our trenches. Trenches, the soldiers were living in trenches. The fight is going on in their dugout, in their hideout in the earth. Okay, dugout. Yesterday morning, Christmas morning, it was crisp and quiet all about, a beautiful morning that I have ever seen, as cold and frosty as a Christmas. Cold and frosty Christmas mornings, you know very well. I don't need to explain it. Okay, so I should like to be able to tell you that we began it. I should like to, but I cannot because it was not we. I should like to be able to. I would like to say that we had begun it, but the fact is we haven't. So I'm ashamed a bit, but the truth is I'm ashamed to say that Fritz began it. Fritz is the nickname for German soldiers or Germans. Tommy is a nickname for British. All right. So first someone saw a white flag waving from trenches opposite trenches, the dugout where soldier hides to fight against the enemy. Okay. Then they were calling out to us from across no man's land. Means from nowhere, all of a sudden, no man's land. Hey, where did you come from? I think he came from no man's land. Means I don't know about his, so I don't know his whereabouts. So where is the origin? We don't know the origin of it. So we will say no man's land, right? So it appears it happened in a no man's land, far, far away, unknown land. Okay. So first, someone saw the white flag waving from the trenches opposite. Then they were calling out to us from across no man's land. Happy Christmas, Tommy. Hey, happy Christmas, Englishmen. Okay, soldiers. Happy Christmas. When we had got over the surprise, it was a surprise because enemy soldiers coming and wishing us. We can't just believe. Maybe it's a trick also to attack us, right? So we couldn't believe. So we were shocked or was in bewilderment. Okay, so when we had got over, means overtook our surprise, some of us shouted back, "Same to you, Fritz. Same to you." I thought that would be that. I thought it would be just that wish and nothing else would happen beyond that. But it was not. Something more happened, Connie. So I thought that would be the end of it. That wish only would take place. We all did expect that much only. But then suddenly one of them was up there in his grey greatcoat and waving a white flag. White flag is a flag of peace. Okay, peace. So it is a peaceful thing. So greatcoat. What's a greatcoat? You may have a doubt. Greatcoat. Greatcoat is a long coat, woolen coat, which is normally worn by the soldiers above their normal uniform to fight the winter. That here the soldiers wear that long greatcoat. That's called greatcoat. Okay, so we saw a person clad in greatcoat waving a white flag. Okay, so but then suddenly one of them was up there in the grey coat and waving a white flag. "Don't shoot! Hey lads, don't shoot. I'm coming to make peace with you," someone shouted, and no one did shoot. Then there was another Fritz, another German coming up. Okay, and someone shouted, and no one did. There was another Fritz coming upon the parapet. Parapet means parapet that raised the platform of the trench, right? And the side of that, another, "Keep your heads down." And I shouted because I'm the officer of the British Army for my regiment, and I shouted, "Hey, keep your heads down, don't look at them. Maybe it's a trick of them to shoot us when we come out." Okay, it's a trick, but it was not at all a trick, in fact. Okay, so it was not a trick, but it was not a trick at all. So I was mistaken, and this German troop was coming up with a flag of peace and wished them Merry Christmas. Okay, it was something very special that never happened, so he thought he would share this happy moments with his beloved Connie. One of the Germans was waving a bottle above his head. Okay, that means we are going to celebrate, man. It's not for war. It is Christmas Day, Tommy. We have schnapps, a German drink. Okay, we are like schnapp. We pronounce it as schnapps. Okay, we have sausage. We meet you. Yes, shall we meet? Yes, by this time there were dozens of them walking towards us across no man's land, and not a rifle between them. Means they were not loaded with their weapon. That shows that these people were coming to make peace on Christmas Day if they wanted to celebrate Christmas with us, forgetting all the enmity. In fact, soldiers never have enmity against another soldier, right? They are all like everybody. They have family, they have children, they have parents. They just want to be with their parents and children and husbands and wives, just like us. All right. So, Little Private Morris was the first up. Come on, boys, what are we waiting for? Let's celebrate. And then there was no stopping them. I was the officer. I should have stopped my cop or my people, or I could have stopped them as well. I was a commanding officer, but I also felt this is something very special. So I didn't stop them there and then, I suppose. But the truth is that it never even occurred to me, it never even came to my mind I should stop them. Because we all wanted peace. We all wanted to be friendly. We never wanted war. This war destroys families, makes people orphans, children orphans, women widows, parents childless. So it is completely ridiculous, this war. So they all wanted, they all desired no war. So when the Fritz were coming in friendly manner, even his inner desire of peace prevailed, and Macpherson never stopped anybody. All along the line and ours, I could see men walking slowly towards one another, grey coats, khaki coats, different uniform, meeting in the middle, both the sides meeting in the middle of the plain, and I was one of them. I was one of them means I also became one of them. I forgot that I was a commandant or I was the leader of a troop and I was with the enemy people. Okay, that all vanished. All enmity, all bitterness, all political nonsense, all disappeared. And they appeared like a human being, fathers, sons, husbands. That feeling emerged, right? I was part of this. In the middle of the war, we were making peace. That is a very beautiful way to it. Okay, so I think we can go along the lesson in the next class. Here we stop. You read once again. If you have doubts, please send the doubts to me. Thank you so much.